government's policy regarding housing in Guyana, and how does squatting figure into this policy?
I laugh because squatting is illegal and it does not fit into our policy. We will never encourage illegal activities. And if you recall, from the time His Excellency President Granger was sworn in, he spoke out nationally against squatting. And he said, stop the illegal occupation of land, go through the process. We know that, and let's be fair, in the past, some persons applied for so many years, and some people would have gone into squatting out of frustration. Some would have gone into it out of need, because sitting here as minister, I can tell you the amount of stories that came to me, and some of them are very touching. And there was a need in some cases for some people to get some place to live. And so I believe out of that kind of desperation, some people went into squatting. However, some went into it as a business. They just go take the land and rent it. They build a little house and rent it. Some of them legally own house lots. They rent that and go squatting. We're not going to continue to encourage that. And so we have to bring order, starting with Georgetown. This is our garden city. This is our capital. And anyone going into areas like Sophia and so on would be very unhappy with what they see. As a minister responsible for housing, I cannot continue to have or allow that kind of situation to continue in our garden city. We have to bring order, we have to clean it up, and we have to really make our city look like one that we're happy, and one that when our visitors come to Guyana, they must not see that kind of thing. So our policy when it comes to acquisition of land is that you come into the office. We have regional offices also. You purchase a form for $200. I'm so accustomed to the thousands. For $200, you fill it. You're issued with a slip that indicate to you what documents you're required to bring. In the past, when you submit the documents, you were told that, oh, you'll be called for the interview. That has changed. Once you come in with the application form and your documents, interview is done immediately. And you're issued with a letter which says to you that you were interviewed and you will now qualify for a house lot, whether low income, moderate, middle, or high income. That now will allow you to have an allocation. However, because of the number of applications we have in the system, and I'm really tired calling this number of 25,000. It fluctuates because we have given some allocations, but oh Lord, the number of applications that come in, we can't keep up with it. So you're subsequently called for an allocation. Persons who have squatted, some people, they say to you, oh, I'm there 20 how much years. Indeed, that's so when we check our records. So our community development department has gone out there, done surveys, we have on our records, and the survey we updated last year, we updated again this year. We have on our records who are the people that were squatting since when. And those are the people we'll focus on in our regularization. Let me say that we did mention, I think it was the CEO, who had mentioned, and in previous broadcasts I also mentioned, that we are working out with organizations. I can say right now we are working to get some money through the IDB to provide low-cost homes to remove the squatters from our reserves. Hopefully that we should succeed with that by the end of the year. We are also engaging the attention of other international organizations. And I can say to you that even at government level, we are working on, we've already identified an area where we want to relocate squatters, particularly from Sophia and La Penitence and the Rumville areas. But my view is, and I know there are others who share my view, to me it does not make sense. You remove a squatter from, let's say, Sophia, and you give them a piece of land somewhere. They're going to move the very shack they're living in to that location. So you're just transferring a shanty town from one area to the next. My view is, and my intention is, if I'm going to relocate a squatter, I must be able to upgrade them in some way or the other, upgrade their life. And so my belief is that we should be able to have some low-cost houses built, whether what farm we use, whether we use self-help, we use whatever. We build a house and then we relocate that squatter. We would have given them a sense of decency, a sense of pride. Many of those squatters have children. And I don't know about anybody. As a child growing up, you are concerned where you live, and when you're going home from school, you don't want your friends to see which gate you're going in. You know, I know a person going in the neighbor gate because you want your friend to believe that this is where you're living. So it will give them a sense of pride. And I think this is what our government is all about, upgrading and bringing upliftment to people. So we're working on that. It will take some time. People got to be patient with us. We don't have a money tree that we can go and shake. And we have money available to do this. So that's the planning moving forward. I want to say though that we have done surveys or inventory in Sophia. Whether it's A to E field, we have done inventory in all those areas. We have done inventory in East and West Rumville. And I want to mention particularly John Fernand's squatting area where they call Container City, all those areas. Middle Road, Repentance, the sea defense areas along the East Coast. We have done extensively in Region 3, and we've done up to Diamond for the East Bank. So we have inventory. And the reason why I mention this is because since we've advertised or we mentioned on air that we are going to do this regularization, there has been a mad rush for squatting. And a number overnight, some shacks are being erected. We do not have you on the inventory, and you will be served contravention notice to dismantle. And if you don't, we will dismantle you. As clear as that. We cannot allow, because if every time we do the inventory, people continue to go and add more shacks to what is already there, we will never be able to deal with this issue of squatting. Currently, we are regularizing an area in New Amsterdam called Angais Avenue. We have more than 1,000 lots there, about 1,010 lots. And that area has been in disarray for quite a number of years. I was able to meet with them early in this year, and we start the process, and I can tell you it's moving smoothly, and most of the people have completed paying for their lots. Middle Road Repentance, we are currently working with them also. We have about 309 households there. In Region 3, the railway embankment, we are working with those people. We have about approximately 300 households. And as a result of a meeting I had with residents of Crane about 2 months or 3 months ago, we have started their process, and we have about 150 squatters that we are regularizing. Regularizing calls for us to have, and let me tell you, in many of the, or all of these cases, we had to redo the plans. And then we had to do block and occupation surveys. After that, the squatters are invited to buy an application form, fill it out, and what I've done in all these cases is send my staff into the community to have the interviews done, rather than have these persons have to come here. Put in infrastructure, then we can relocate. And as I said, now I'm thinking about building the house before actually putting them. So this is where we are. But I want to appeal to the people of Guyana. Stop this madness relating to squatting. Stop taking advice from some rebellious leaders who just want to have conflict and telling people, go and take their land and squat. You're not going to get life easy, because we cannot regularize you if you're on the reserve. And then if people just go and take a plot and gone crazy and squatting, then when we're ready to do the survey, you find a house is in the part of where a road's supposed to go. You have an area that might be set aside for a play area, people squatting there. And let me say this, in some of the communities, people actually going on those play fields and squat. The fields that are set aside for the children, recreation, they're going and squat on it.